So this is lesson 2.5 in elementary algebra. It will be the first video, so let's just call it 2.5a, formulas and percents. Now, in formulas, there are some different formulas that we use. In this case, if we have a rectangle, and we know that it has a length and a width, and the length up here and a width, we know that the perimeter of that is adding up all of the sides to this. So we've got width plus length plus width plus length. Or if we add those two up, we have two W's, and our lengths, we have two L's. So the perimeter is 2 times W plus 2 times L. So let's say, for instance, that this length were 12 and the width was 6. So my perimeter is going to be 2 widths plus 2 lengths. So P is going to be 12 plus 24 equals 36. And if you did it the old-fashioned way, you do 12 plus 8 is 18 plus 12 is 30 plus 6 is 36. Your answer there. So a formula is just a quick and easy way in order to figure out a problem here. And most of the formulas you're going to use have more than one variable. This one has a W and an L. It has more than one there. So good to remember that. So in example number 2, it tells us that we're supposed to find y when x equals 4 in this formula. 3x plus 2y equals 6. So it told me that x is 4, so I'm just going to put a 4 in its place. So 12 plus 2y equals b, or I'm sorry, 6. That's a 6. I don't know why I started making it a b. Okay, subtract 12, we get 2y equals negative 6. Divide by 2, y equals negative 3. So when x is 4, y is going to be negative 3. Alright, so the next section talks about solving a formula for a variable. What that means is you're going to be given an equation or a formula that has two variables in it, and they want you to solve for y. So what you're doing here is you're just trying to manipulate, rearrange the letters and numbers here so that in the end y equals something. So we're going to pretend that there's numbers here. The math is the exact same. So we're trying to solve for y, so we need to get rid of everything else except y. So our last thing we do is get rid of numbers that are multiplied or divided by the y. But we're going to get rid of everything else first. So we're going to subtract 3x here, 3x there. So now all of a sudden, bam, we're just at 2y. We can't combine those because those aren't like terms. Now we're going to divide by 2 and divide the entire thing over here by 2. So when you divide something by 2 on one side, you divide the entire other side. So y equals, now we're going to split them up. Because this number 2 is under both the 6 and the 3, we can split them up to 6 over 2 minus 3x over 2. So we just split them up so that they were both over 2 because that reduces to 3. So what I have right there, I have got that formula. I haven't solved anything, but I have taken that formula and rearranged it in such a way that it is now y equals. I didn't get rid of anything. I didn't find an answer necessarily. I just rearranged the problem so that it becomes y equals something. That becomes very, very handy. That's one of the reasons you learn the algebra skills, is so you could do this number and letter manipulation correctly. So we have h. This is example 4. Vt minus 16t squared. Solve for v. So we're trying to get v all by itself. Oh goodness, so we're going to take what's furthest away from it, so numbers that are added or subtracted, and we're going to take that and have h plus 16t squared equals just vt. And then it says, okay, well, we still have a t there, so we're going to divide that and divide that. So we divide these, those go away, and I end up with h over t minus 16t squared over t equals v. Now, look what I've got here. A t squared and a t to the first. So one of these t's is going to cancel with one of those and be left with one. So h over t minus 16t equals v. Now for some reason, the book left it as this for the answer, so I guess that's okay. Alright, so let's look at example number 5. And again, just kind of practicing some of these examples here. That's about all you can do with them. We have y minus 1, and that is over x, and that equals 3/2. And we're trying to solve for y. Alright, so a couple different ways to do this. The book does it one way. I'm going to show you a different way. I've got two fractions, this and this, which means they're proportions, which means I can cross multiply and be able to find my answer pretty easy. So 3 times x equals 2 times y minus 1. So 3x equals 2y minus 2. Notice, I multiplied the 2 times this whole thing. The whole thing, so it's in parentheses, so I distributed the 2 to show that I multiplied 2 by the whole thing. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for y, so I'm going to add 2 here and add 2 here. So I have 3x plus 2 equals 2y. Divide by 2, divide by 2, those go away. And I'm going to separate these. And that changes to a 1. So I have 3x over 2 plus 1 equals y. A key thing, 2 over 2 does not mean that goes away. It means it turns into a 1. Any number over itself is 1. So don't just get 3x over 2 equals y, because this is 1, and we need to show that. Alright, so that is example 5. So the next video will start with basic percent problems.